Recent events have raised security concerns here in the U.S. A few weeks ago, a terror plot to assassinate the Saudi ambassador in D.C. was uncovered. And just this week, 5 foreign men broke into the Bexar County Courthouse in San Antonio as part of a prank, apparently, alerting the Department of Homeland Security. So to speak more on these concerns, we have former FBI agent Jim Conway. He joins us this morning. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning. Pleasure to be here.
What does it say that all of this that was uncovered in San Antonio turned out to be what authorities think was a prank? What does it say about our level of alertness and sensitivity to these issues now?
Well, thank God it did turn out to be nothing in terms of a threat. But look, we're in very, very interesting times. A lot's going on in the Middle East. I mean, obviously with Libya, the Arab Spring, Bashar al-Assad in Syria, the Iranian plot. There's a lot going on in the world. Counterterrorism remains the #1 priority of the FBI and most of the law enforcement community in the United States. So what happened and what we saw in San Antonio this past week may have been somewhat of a dry run, but it shows our purpose and our focus on counterterrorism. Look, over 25 plots have been thwarted in the past 5 years in the United States. When we look at Times Square, when we look at the Detroit bombing, and the number of incidents throughout the United States. In some respects, we've been lucky, but we've been working very, very hard, too.
Let's talk a little bit about that Iranian plot. Mansour Abarabsiar indicted in New York over this plot to allegedly assassinate a Saudi ambassador. The unusual part about all of this is that he apparently thought he was dealing with a Mexican drug cartel. What does it say that now an organization like that has been brought into the picture?
Well, you know, I think there was some question about the legitimacy or the veracity of the plot. But, I mean, if we really look at it, al-Bashir really was an individual who had dual citizenship, had links to Iranian intelligence, specifically the Quds forces. And there are some interesting dynamics going on within Iran right now and some splits within the intelligence community there. It does not surprise me with the relationship between the Saudis and the Iranians vis-a-vis Bahrain and Syria and some other things that are going on, that the Iranians would want to target a Saudi plot. And the opportunity to do it in the United States and poke the U.S. in the eye at the same time does not surprise me one bit.
When it comes to our late-breaking developments this week, the death of Muammar Gaddafi, everything going on in Libya, what are our primary concerns about the security of that nation and how they relate to us in the United States?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see, and I think all the analysts this week are going to be looking at that. I mean, there are 13 different tribes, 3 autonomous regions within Libya. There's over 10,000. All of the weapons caches of Muammar Gaddafi and the military have been pilfered. All those weapons are on the street. Those are concerns for people in the intelligence community. And concerns to U.S. targets in the Middle East. So that's of concern. It's going to be interesting to see if that business community and that petrochemical economy of Libya can come back together and the right folks can come together and bring that country back. And we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting, though. There's a lot of players on the ground there, and some of whom are bad guys.
Well, and you mentioned Syria, too. This further destabilizes things there as well, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Bashar al-Assad is an issue that everybody's watching, and of course he is a satellite or a proxy for the Iranians. And the Saudis are very much behind the drive to try to get him out of power. And I think that the movement on the streets are going to step up now. I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in Syria in the coming days, as well as Lebanon.
Some complicated relationships.
Very complicated. We're living in very, very interesting times vis-a-vis the Middle East.
Mr. Conway, thanks for your insight.
Thanks so much.